You don't have a speaking problem, you have a business problem. And I think some part of you already knows that, even if you haven't quite let yourself say it, because here's what's actually happening when somebody tells you that the answer to getting more bookings is better stories, more entertainment value, stronger stage presence. They're handing you something genuinely enjoyable to work on, something that feels like progress, instead of the thing that you're actually avoiding, which is picking up the phone, doing the prospecting, the outreach, having the slightly uncomfortable conversations that actually get you booked. Nobody tells you that part out loud because it's a much harder sell than another workshop on storytelling. I'm a speaker myself, and I know it would be a dream if you could just write your talks and get on stages and get well paid, and that's all there is to it. But it's not. You try throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, but none of it's cooked yet, so none of it does. You may have 15 or more keynotes listed on your speaker page, which looks impressive, but nobody can see why they must book you. You can be posting on all the social media channels and seeing next to no engagement and rarely getting speaking inquiries. You end up taking the scraps you're offered, or even more offensive, being asked to pay to be on a stage because you're waiting for the opportunities to come your way. Meanwhile, the actual problem just sits there. People don't quite get what you do, so they don't book you. You put content out and nothing comes back. And somewhere along the way, you've started speaking for free or at low fees and telling yourself it's exposure, when what you're actually doing is giving it away because it's easier than asking for what you're worth. Now, I know speakers who are genuinely brilliant on stage and still doing it for free. And I know speakers who are honestly fairly average, but they're fully booked, charging properly because they understood that the work was never really just about the stage. It was about the business behind it, the part that doesn't feel quite so much fun to work on, so most people quietly avoid it. I'm John Ball, and I've been coaching speakers and experts for over 15 years, and before that, had 12 years in the aviation industry, where you learn the difference between something that looks impressive and something that's actually doing the job. What I teach has very little to do with how captivating you are on stage. It's 3 things done properly and in order. Get clear on the one painful problem you solve better than anyone else. Get visible in a way that builds real authority, and get booked by people who pay you what you're worth. Booked, known, and paid in that order, because that's the order it actually happens. This channel is where I deal with that part, the part that most speaking coaches leave alone because it's harder to sell and harder to teach than another framework for telling better stories. Telling stories, stage presence, entertainment, these are all good things to have, but they're not the things that are going to make a difference. So if you're tired of being clapped for and not booked for, you're in the right place. Subscribe and I'll show you exactly how it's done.